Hi, I'm Brent Layton with Brent Layton Insurance Agency. One of the things I'd like to address this winter is some things that you can do to be safer in your vehicle in case of some kind of an emergency. So what I've done today is put together the types of things that I typically keep in my vehicles to make sure that my wife and I and my son are safe while we travel during winter conditions. First, at this time of year, it's important to make sure that you have a scraper and a brush. I know that may sound silly, but it's surprising how often people get caught out without this, and then you see them trying to scrape their windshield with their credit card, which obviously doesn't work very well. So anyway, make sure you have a good scraper and a brush. I like to make sure that I have either some blankets or a sleeping bag in the car. It's amazing what a difference it makes if you can get a little warmth around you if you're trapped in your car for an extended period of time. It's a great idea to have booster cables. I keep these in the car year-round because there are times when the heat will drain the energy out of your battery. You'll need a jump start in the middle of the summer as well. But it's a great idea to have these. Typically you can get away with a little bit smaller jumper cable if when you connect the cables to another vehicle you let it run for 3 or 4 minutes to let your battery warm up before you attempt to jump start it. The other thing I like to have is a tow strap. It's a very nice thing to have going both directions if you need to be towed or if you have somebody that gets in trouble and you need to tow them. It gives you the opportunity to be a good Samaritan. During the deepest part of winter, when there's a lot of snow on the ground, I like to keep a shovel in my truck as well, because if you get a little bit stuck, a little bit of a shovel will do a lot of good for you. So that's a great thing to have. I also like to keep an emergency light in my vehicle. And you'll see in a minute, I'll show you another type of light, but I like this one that plugs into my cigarette lighter so that if I need light for an extended amount of time, I've got that available. It also has the ability to flash and have some other colors on it so that I could attract attention if I were to need some help. I also think it's a great idea to have a few basic tools in your vehicle. Now I realize everybody's not a mechanic, but if you need some help and you have tools available, somebody who is a mechanic may be able to help you with the tools that you're keeping in your own vehicle. The other thing that I like to do, and this is a nice way to store it. This is a trunket that's actually designed to haul golf equipment, but obviously in January we don't get to play much golf. I keep some things in here that are good for me personally. First of all, I like to make sure that we have something to drink and that we have some energy bars of some type, so if we're stranded on the road for a couple of hours, we don't go thirsty or go hungry. I also like to keep a small knife handy to go along with the tools that we talked about earlier. And then one of the great things to keep in your vehicle is some type of a first aid kit. Very basic, even if it's just a few bandages and gauze and that type of thing. It's amazing how often you can solve a small problem, especially if you're traveling with children in your car. A lot of times a Band-Aid will make the problem go away. I also carry a couple of Ziploc bags and some type of tissues or napkins or Kleenexes or something to help take care of spills or problems and that type of thing. Or if you have a need for some kind of sanitary stuff. I keep a lot of spare clothing with me, some waterproof things, some things that are insulated clothing, and changes just in case you're out and about and you get wet. And also at this time of year, I like to keep some hot hands and some toe warmers with me, because if I'm stranded in my car for an extended period of time, my toes and my fingers are usually the first things to get cold. These are fairly inexpensive. I bought these at Ace Hardware on sale, 6 for $1. I think that's a pretty cheap way to be safe on the road. And then the last thing that we've got here, this is a flashlight that will serve multiple purposes. It's got a magnet on it, so if you can attach it to the side of your car and provide light where you need it. It's got a seat belt cutter, so if you got in a bad situation and need to cut your way out of a seat belt. It's got a sharp point on it. If you needed to help somebody and to get to them you needed to break a window on their car, those things are all available on this. The thing I'm most excited about is I've got this in my emergency kit. Unfortunately, never had to use it. I've talked to other people to keep a few other things, for instance a bigger shovel, or in some cases either sand or kitty litter in case they get stuck where it's extremely icy. Some people like to keep waterproof matches in their car in a can so that they can heat the can and melt snow for water. But anyway, these are the things I found to be most useful. If you have any questions, give me a call on the 435-257-3829. Thanks and have a great day.